Good morning, everyone. It is that Talk About Tuesday. And just having a great time here live. Had to switch phones. I'm a couple minutes late off of 8 o'clock. I am a time freak. Maybe you are as well. Anyway, Shawn, welcome to here. Jakey, bakey in the house. Let's get the questions rolling. Frank, good to see you, my friend. Andrew and Lori going on vacation over the bridge. What a great session we had yesterday. Blaine and Lori, welcome, welcome, welcome from Malaysia. Let me know where you're coming from. Keaton, it's tacos for breakfast, tacos for lunch, tacos for dinner. We're going to talk about Tuesday right here. If you would like my template for the daily practices or my book, David at dmeltzer.com, ebook, audiobook, or a signed copy for you. I will sign it, send it to you, and pay for shipping. Nick, happy Tuesday to you. Welcome, everybody. Texas in the house. Everybody likes tacos down in Texas, too. Blake, good to see you. Welcome. Let's get the questions rolling here as we're moving right along. How often do your private coaching groups meet? Once a week. You get one-on-one access to me. You get to listen into other people's sessions. We have an extraordinary community and networking. Every day, a private networking group. Books, guides, exercises, and trainings and templates, and all of those things are included. And it's just month to month, and we guarantee it. So we have Unbelieve Mindset group. We got sales group. You let me know you want to join me, David at dmeltzer.com. We'd love to have you in our group. David at dmeltzer.com. Let's keep the questions rolling here. Next question. What topics are you studying at the moment? Well, I'm always studying Course of Miracles. And right now in the Course of Miracles, I'm studying the truth and how that affects and comes through us and what it is within us that deters us from living our truth. What are the interferences that are created, the voids, the shortages, and the obstacles? I always study time and utilizing time and bending time and understanding how thought and time are relative to each other and the speed in which thought and time move in order to utilize time and time's travel and productivity, accessibility, and gratitude. All are relative in the man-made construct of time. Why? Because you're given 24 hours of activity a day, just like everyone else. And so if you are not understanding the exact rules of the game you're playing here, and the main rule is you get 24 hours of activity each day, and you're not guaranteed any more the next day or any less, but that is it. That is why I study time and all that's relative to that and the thoughts that are related around it and how to be productive, accessible. All right, we're going to start off with a unbelievable woman here, and there she is. Of course, she's right. Nicole Lynn, NFL agent, president of the football operations at Clutch Sports, and she has. Oh,
Hi,
hi, Nicole. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Amazing. So nice to see you.
You too.
You're just kicking butt as usual, and now you are releasing a debut book. Agent You, show up and do the work, succeed on your own terms. There it is. Look at you, badass.
That's
Well,
it.
you know, it's so amazing because I'm a recovering agent, which is a happy agent. Which
I
is
can relate to that so much. Recovery, I get it. I get it.
It's so funny because I tell people all the time, there's only two things you really need to know about being an agent. It's how to get a client and how to keep them. And everyone makes it so complex. Should I go to law school? Should I intern here? Should I do this? And I don't care if you're a man, a woman, where you come from, what you do, you played sports, you haven't played sports, you have a law degree, you have a business degree. It comes down to the best agents are the ones that can get clients and keep them. And you can do just that. And I think your book gives that insight because you did it on your own terms. The best way to get clients and keep them is to be yourself. How difficult, though, is it within agentry, especially as a woman, to be yourself and not, try to please what other people think?
If I'd be lying to say that it's not difficult to, I don't know. For me, I always want to be my authentic self, but I can't lie and say that I don't have some imposter syndrome in my head where I'm second guessing these decisions. I will say the minute that I learned that I'm not for everyone, my life changed. I'll say that again. Like, I am not for everyone. You are not for everyone. And so once I realized that, yeah, it was way easier to be, to be my authentic self and show up every single day as me. Because no matter what, no matter how amazing all the apples are, someone's always going to like a peach, right? Someone's always going to say, I prefer a banana. And so it's something I strive to do, but it's not easy.
No, it's not. It's so cool that you said that, because I always took a great transition. When I worked with Lee Steinberg, not everybody likes Lee.
I love Lee.
I love Lee.
Shout out to Lee. That's my guy. I love Chris Cabot.
Yeah.
Great friends.
I'm in the same boat, but he taught me, because I wanted everyone to love me. And, when I, like, the first person he said to me, he said, the worst thing is that nobody knows you. That's what you don't want.
That's good.
He said, because if nobody knows you, that means that more people don't know you. If somebody hates you, Dave, that means that there's also people that love you. That means that you're at your frequency, that you are now talking to a certain genre or spectrum of people. And this is pre-digital. So we didn't have, the world of 6.4 billion people. And I will tell you that one piece of advice, which I'm 53 now, I've worked on, since 2006, when Warren went into the Hall of Fame, and I got that piece of advice. So, the years go by. 15 years ago, I've been working still to this day when someone's like, dude, you suck. And I think to myself, thank goodness you think I suck, because there's someone out there that I changed their life. But like you said, I'm a banana and you like apples, so I'm cool with that.
Nothing we can do. You could be the best banana ever, but they don't.
I am a banana.
That's okay. I think I'm a peach, but I'm good with, banana, peach, whatever you choose, whatever you like.
Well, I'm a big fan of yours, if that means anything. And I'm on the love side of that, which means I'll credit you for anyone that hates you. Put me on the love credit, so that you feel good that for every person, there's another person that loves the peach.
I appreciate it.
And then, NFL, on top of just being an agent, NFL is a whole different beast. It's a race to the bottom. There's so many things that make it so difficult. And I still tell everyone, they say, what sport record will never be duplicated again? I said, Lee Steinberg represented 8 first picks in the draft in a row. I said, that one's like the Dodger infield. That's like the Dodger infield, right? The same infield for 10 years. Lee having 8 first picks is incredible.
I'm like, Lee, give us all a shot, right?
Right.
Like, can I just get one of those? I'm not trying to outdo you. I just want to get like halfway there.
Yeah,
I don't have to be Lee Steinberg. I'm just trying to be halfway to where Lee was, and that'll be great.
And the Toners are good friends, and David Dunn and Condon, and Joel, and all the guys have been friends for years.
Guy, he's so
they're all good, but they all have superpowers, right? They all have. And what is your superpower when you're talking about succeeding on your own terms? What were some of those terms, or what I call non-negotiables, that allowed you to get to the top?
Man, there's so many. So even like you mentioned, Joel, one of the things about me is I know what I don't know. And so I'm humble in knowing certain things that I haven't done. I'm not uncomfortable with saying, hey, I don't have the experience here. And so I remember early on in my career, even calling Joel and doing deals with him over the phone, and him being nice enough to help me, right? Because when you have 20 years of experience and I have 1, I don't have an ego. You're better than me at this. And so part of my superpower is being okay with asking for help and being comfortable with what I don't know. And then I think the other superpower is, like we talked about, and I talk about this in my book, being my authentic self. I know that feels like something that should be so natural, but in this world, when no one looks like me, right, that in itself makes me different. But then my personality is different, and the way I handle things is different. I decided to do that from day one. So, that's another superpower. And
it is a superpower. And the other thing that I love about your career is, you're so young, but you're following one of the things that I learned. You transcended out of just one niche of representation. You started getting into what I call the backdrop of sports, and being a business executive. And now you're transcending into your own brand, which I think will be the best place for you. It'll be the most from my experience, our personalities have some great similarities. And I think building your own brand and being able to utilize the skill set and the knowledge that you have of who and what from representing other people in
Yes.
sports and outside of sports is just going to take you to the next level. You know, if a middle-aged mutant turtle like me can build a brand, I'm just thinking, what is this intelligent, gorgeous, hard-hitting, book writing, speaking person's going to do? And I just can't wait to see all the different places
I
and
appreciate
pieces of content that you're going to inspire. Because, you know, I have 3 daughters, and you're a milestone woman for my daughters. Like Lee was a milestone for me. He was someone that I wanted to surpass. I want to do the same thing as Lee. I'm not Lee. Lee's a way better lawyer. You know, his superpower of lawyering far exceeds where my law degree set me off. But I have my own superpowers as well. But I used him as a milestone and said, man,
Yeah.
if Lee Steinberg can do this, I can do this myself. And you're that person for so many young women who want to get involved in sports, not just as an agent, but as you are a business development, business executive, and now a brand. What piece of advice would you give to young women? I have a 22, 20, and 17-year-old daughters. What piece of advice would you give them that you wish when you were that age somebody would have given you, applied to your knowledge of today?
Oh my gosh, I have so much. I wrote a book about it. It's so funny.
Nice. Buy the book. That would be your advice. Buy the book.
You know, you mentioned brands. I actually have a chapter in my book called "Treat Yourself as a Brand," or so just talks about branding generally. Because early on, I didn't realize that every human, no matter what they do, is a brand. Whether you're a lawyer, whether you're a doctor. I mean, as a sports agent, I never saw other sports agents creating these big brands. Maybe 1 or 2, but they didn't have social medias. I only really knew the name of like Jerry Maguire or maybe the biggest sports agent, Lee Steinberg. But I didn't know about everyone else. And so I wish I had started to build my brand even sooner. You know, I think I was one of the pioneers in doing that in sports, but I wish I had done it sooner. The second piece of advice I would give is, you know, we talk about getting a seat at the table, right? You keep hearing, get a seat at the table, get a seat at the table. What that means to me, the way I define it for women, is getting a seat at the table means getting the same opportunities as men at the same time. So not just the same opportunities, but at the same time. So whether that means you're a lawyer, right, and your male counterpart gets a deposition in year 1 and you don't get one till year 3. Sure, you both got them, but you didn't get it at the same time. And so now you're already behind. And so women, be cognizant of what your male counterparts are doing. Are you getting those same opportunities early on? Fight for your seat at the table right now, not when you're at the manager level or executive level. It's got to happen right this moment. And then I think the last thing for women is we don't have a choice but to be excellent. You know, one of the things I always say is no one's going to catch me slipping. When I started out in this business, I'd have dads, you know, come at me and say, do you know the difference between a 4-3 and 3-4 defense? Do you understand what a bump and run corner is? You know, they would quiz me, and it's frustrating, but I never got it wrong. So you have to be 10 times better. Excellence is your greatest currency. Excellence is your greatest currency. So no matter what, you're not going to catch me slipping. I don't want to catch you slipping. Know the game, know the business better than your peers, better than the men, because you don't have a choice.
It's so funny because I was blessed to have Warren Moon as my business partner for so many years. And we spoke about the spirit of excellence. And regardless of man, woman, color, size, scope, scale, you have to, for anyone out there, you have to be better. You have to carry the spirit of excellence. And no matter who you are, you have to do that. The other thing that's interesting that I love about you is that radical humility of asking. And I tell all my children, I do have a son who's 11. I said, man, you have to ask. Ask big and ask often. So when you see a male counterpart who's getting an opportunity, I will tell you that inadvertently and unintentionally, a lot of white middle-aged men, which that is one mindset that I know. You can look at me right
I
here.
think you've got that one down.
Yeah, I got that down. We sometimes, because of the way that we have evolved, we don't see it and we want to see it. So you need to sometimes slap us in the face by asking and say, hey, you've given Jake that opportunity.
Exactly.
What about me, Nicole? I've proven that I am capable of doing this. Can I have the same opportunity? And believe it or not, I have found 95% of the time when young women come up to me and say, hey, Bozo, you're missing it. You know, I know who you are, so I know it's not intentional, but can I go with you here? Can we do this? I'm like, yes. Thank you so much for pointing it out, because
Bring it to the forefront, you know?
yeah,
And it's not
I
even,
grew up different.
it's not even always the big moments like that. Sometimes it's as little as in the workplace being left off an email chain to a client. So women, maybe you're on an email with a client and the partner in your law firm, and then all of a sudden you're pulled off and now you don't get the updates. It's little stuff like that, but your male counterpart is there, or being invited to lunch with the clients at your business, but the male that's your peer is invited. And it's those small things that I noticed is how women get behind. It's not always the big moments. It's not always I wasn't, picked to do trial. It's the little stuff that add up over time.
Well, to that point, I have many other shows, including my new TV show on Bloomberg, and I am inviting you. Please join me on my podcast, my TV show. Make sure you reach out to Jake, because you are absolutely a superstar. I could watch that smile and listen to you all day long with your advice. I'm writing down notes. You don't see it. I'm a master of refocusing. So I got my little pen and notes tied to my stand here, and I've actually learned a few things. So thank you so much. Come back, please, and get on my other shows at Agent Nicole Lynn. Anywhere else you want people, agentnicolelynn.com to reach out to you.
Check out the book. It comes out July 13th. So link is in my bio. It's the blueprint. It's not just a memoir. Yes, there are some very personal stories there, but you asked me, how did you do it? Here it is. I'm giving it to you. This is the secret.
All right, I'm buying 3 copies for each of my girls. Absolutely. Thank you so much. And I start filming my show on your birthday. So, on the release date of that, July 13th. So we'll get coordinated.
Get out there.
We'll be interviewing you for your book for sure.
Thank you so much. See ya.
See ya. Great job. Congrats. Take care. Bye-bye. The great Nicole Lynn. Check out her book. She got it down. Book's name, once again, Agent U: Show Up, Do the Work, Succeed on Your Own Terms. Available July 13th. And it's all the lessons of a top NFL agent and super agent. Thank you, Nicole, so much. Man, she almost made me miss being an agent. Almost, not really. But definitely she's going to be a huge brand. We'll remember this IG Live when we had her on before that book is released, the bestseller. All right, we'll bring on another great woman, Vanessa Ohayon. And we'll bring Vanessa on real quick to ask me a question. Vanessa, are you here? Reach out. Give me a big shout out and hello. Everybody loved Nicole. Yes, Colleen, I think she was amazing. That's an understatement for all of us to say. Reminds me so much of Carrie and Sage and some of those other women that have been here with us. Big time, big brand coming up. You're going to remember that name. All right. Hello, Vanessa.
Good. How are you? Can you see me?
Thank you for joining me. And you are the founder of Vanessa. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Amazing. So good to see you. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to have you here. Obviously, in the events and hospitality space, it's once again changing so quickly from our beautiful break that we got or the transition that we received over the last 16 months. And I thought maybe you could give me a little bit of a quick quib on your own events in hospitality company, and then give me a question.
So there's so many things. First of all, she was amazing. I can't wait to get her book. So up my exactly the path that I need to be on right now. Especially with everything that's been going on with the changes, and everything went to online. For resistance to go online because the magic events is the human capital together, the people swirling around, the energy that flows between the people. But at the end of the day, it really worked online. Really surprising, and I was I'd held back, but I just did another online event for clients in Canada. And there are some hybrid events coming up. But what's interesting, where this has taken me now to ask you, was, in the face of COVID, obviously I had to let people go. And now that events are coming back, I'm questioning whether I actually want to hire back a team or if I want to partner with somebody and kind of join forces. And it's actually a really interesting thing because a lot of people in the event industry, especially where I am, everybody's brand is their name, and it's actually a lot with respect to what we were talking about. Is you are your own brand, right? So there's a little bit of ego in there, but not really from a bad place, but it's attached to your name. So how do you get to the point to, partner with somebody? Like, how do you can't, I mean, there's a trial process. So I'm kind of grappling with that right now. Do I want to like staff up, or do I want to explore the partnership route right now?
Yeah, well, I always would explore the partnership route first, right? I have a spine approach that I take, which is knowing every day the inventory of my own values, skills, knowledge, and capabilities, and desire, and looking for those that may already have synergistic, supplementary to those skills, knowledge, capabilities, and desire. And I go there first. And I take kind of the powered by Intel approach to maintain and grow my personal brand. So I'll do speeches and masterminds and events and podcast agency that are powered by David Meltzer, right? I have office hours powered by David Meltzer and playbook powered by David Meltzer and all of these sub brands. And some of them are partners and some, as I went through the inventory of, are there enough synergistic, supplementary, and aligned skills, knowledge, capabilities, and desires with that partner in order to effectuate a powered by David Meltzer? Or does it have to be David Meltzer? And then I go ahead and find the talent that is missing at the last resort to add to my team that does not exist, that is synergistic, supplementary, or aligned to what I need. But absolutely, I start with the partnership, joint venture, license, whatever it is route. There's too much opportunity to aggregate what you do in the events and hospitality business to yourself and scale up. You'll limit yourself and it will grow too slowly. If you have the talent, go out there, align it, find the synergies and the supplementary capabilities, skills, knowledge, and desire, and you'll kill it. And just remember, it's just going to be powered by Vanessa from now on. And your brand, it will grow exponentially more than even if you only focus in on your own brand. Does that sound fair?
Sounds amazing. So hold on a second. So does that mean it would be powered by me and the person I'm partnering with? Like we with the brand and it would be powered by the two of us?
Yeah, so I licensed the playbook. The playbook was, Entrepreneurs the Playbook. And, it got so big that I'm now doing a sports and entertainment playbook. I have a studio at the Wynn, but it's Blue Wire's playbook, sports and entertainment playbook at the Wynn, with David Meltzer. And so, it's Bloomberg's office hours with David Meltzer. So it's co-branded with Bloomberg on Bloomberg TV, and then, Amazon Prime Videos, office hours with David Meltzer. So, I'm not going to go build myself and only do digital network with my own, as I've done 200 episodes on my own, it's always just been me on LinkedIn and Facebook and IG and all these areas with office hours. Now I found someone with synergistic supplementary behavior. Now I'm cannibalizing millions, if not a billion people for what I've built. And you can do the exact same thing.
I love it. I love it. That's exactly what I need to hear. Good.
Reach out to me. I'm happy. I have a scaling document and some other templates that you may want. And I'm happy to coach you kind of through it because I think that you have unlimited potential in what you're doing. And a little bit of tweaking and guidance can double the amount of money you make as fast as you can, the amount of people you help as fast as you can, and the amount of fun that you can have. As you could see with Nicole Lynn before us, you're sitting in that same situation. So thank you, Vanessa.
You're amazing. Thank you for what you do and all the love you put out. Seriously, you're inspiring all the time. I'm so great chatting.
Please keep in contact, david@davemeltzer.com. Have a great day, Vanessa. She's amazing.
Bye.
Check her out. Just kicking butt there. VanessaEvents.com, events and hospitality, her leadership style and production. All right, we are ready to go. Flipping. Having a great time here. No pun intended. Let's see here. Where is my friend? I'm looking here. You want to make a quick comment again? I got so many people commenting. I'm looking for my man at Flipping New Jersey. Where we at? Where we at? Got in so early. Now it's time to come on. Here we go. All right, I'll join you in. All right, here we go. Last but not least, Caesar, come on here. Pina. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, what's going on, David? How's everything?
Flipping good to see you, brother. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
I couldn't get my normal IG phone to work, so I'm on my smaller phone. It looks kind of weird to me. I've been a real estate investor probably before you were born, and you have a new book that I can't wait to read. It came out in March, Flipping Keys. There it is. That looks just like you.
Yeah, yeah,
I wish my book picture looked like me, or maybe they made it look better.
yeah.
But you started your journey almost about the same time that I lost all my money, a little earlier, but I was already on. And you have built an amazing empire off of some hard-earned advice and trade secrets that you now share with everyone in that book. What are some of the things that we can learn in your journey, in your book, that can help us make more money, help more people, and have more fun in real estate?
Well, pretty much like I tell most people, right? In real estate, one deal is not going to get you rich, right? It's about multiple deals. A lot of times when people first start, they kind of just focus on this one deal, and then if that deal doesn't close, they kind of lose hope, right? So it's not about one deal in real estate. You got to think about multiple deals, multiple avenues of income, just in things outside the box.
And to that, there's another thing when people are in love with the deal, on both sides, buying and selling, and the agents, you can't emotionally attach to a deal. There's always another deal. What I think people realize is successful people like you focus your emotional attachment to the client. You've had some huge clients. You sold what, $65 million, 1,100 properties, or more than that. But it's all because of your relationship with the client, not with the property.
Yeah, pretty much is. When it comes to real estate, I guess I'm a serial cheater. There's no emotion in real estate. It's just about the profit. That's it.
It's all about the profit. It's all about the math.
Yep.
And, you obviously have a lot of emotional intelligence, a lot of street smarts, have that kind of street hustle mentality, which most people, I look for street hustlers because they know math. And, there's the emotional intelligence that allows you to connect to people, but the math is where you make your money.
Yep.
And how did you learn the math of real estate so that you could create the margins necessary to be a successful real estate investor?
It's all pretty much numbers, right? For me, right, just to give you an idea of how I look at the deal, let's say if I look at a rental property, right, I want to at least net anywhere between $1,000 and $1,500 a month after paying all my expenses, right? If I'm flipping a property, I like to make at least $100,000 out of the deal. If not, I won't even touch it. So everybody, at the end of the day, it's all about systems, right? So it depends, once you put your system in place, what numbers you adapt to yourself, right? Somebody starting out, maybe they'll be happy just making $20,000 out of the deal, $50,000 out of the deal. For me, it's something totally different. But when it comes to my rental properties, right, I'm more in urban areas. They're up and coming, right? Because I see in those areas is always the biggest potential. And I kind of go into these areas before, everybody starts coming in. And that's kind of been pretty much the key to our success when it comes to rental properties, commercial properties, that kind of thing.
Yeah. And, for me, I had a philosophy way back when, being more interested than interesting. I had an 8-mile philosophy, not from Eminem, but a different 8-mile philosophy. I'd go into cities and go to the city hall and look at public records. And I look to see what was going on, because the public records indicate, if there's, for example, I did really well in Indiana because they have little towns with a main street. And you could see over a decade or 2 decades how Main Street and which way Main Street is growing.
Yeah.
And if you just bought a little bit of property outside, a parking lot, a lot, something that's right outside of Main Street, you could pick it up and get over the next 10 years, that unbelievable return. And there's so many different times that, I bought little franchises that were breaking even, but I knew Main Street was coming, and that I may have owned a little bookstore that turned into a Shake Shack, and that land was extremely valuable to Shake Shack. 10 years after I bought it, I broke even for 10 years, covered everything, the taxes, insurance, etc. But more importantly, I had an exponential return. There's a lot going on from what you learned on the streets. Obviously, you've had an extraordinary past that has led to your success. What are some of the things you learned from the hard times that you had into now, giving seminars with DJ Envy and touring around, teaching people how to do this? It wasn't always that easy. But what were some of the lessons you learned when it was hard?
One of the things that I learned growing up was, if it comes fast, it doesn't last, right? Back then, into this thing, making fast money and spending it faster than I was making it, because I thought it was never gonna stop, right? And now, like I tell people, there's no such thing as overnight success. I've been doing real estate now for 16 years, right? And first 5 years, I wasn't making any money, right? Where when I was younger, I could go and make money really fast, but then, there was consequences to that. So it kind of teaches you, anything that's worthwhile, you have to put work in. You have to work for it.
I love that. My mom was a second grade teacher, and she had 6 kids, single mom, packed my dinner into a paper bag. And, I was a street smart kid since the time I was 5. And people ask me, what are some of the best advice my mom gave me in the real estate investment side of what I was doing? And I will tell you, there was one thing she taught me from the time I was 5. She always said, being a teacher, if you cut the line, eventually you're going to have to go to the back of the line. It may not happen right away. So every time you cut that line, if you think you've gone over on somebody and you cut the line, and you're going to make this, like you said, if it's fast, it's not going to last, you're going to have to go to the back of the line. And I learned that myself in real estate. All the shortcuts I took, all the surrounding myself with the wrong people and the wrong ideas, eventually from over $100 million back down to 0. And, for me, since 2006, I have changed the way that I look at things, my mindset, and that's changed what I've done. I see T-Rod in the house as well. What's one of the keys to that strong mindset that you have with the combination of patience and persistence that has gotten you to the top? What's some of the keys to your mindset? What do you teach people on mindset?
As far as mindset, for me, I never lose my cool. Like, somebody could call me at 3, 4 in the morning, there's a fire in your building. A car ran into one of your 2-family homes. Somebody was sitting in the living room. Like, I've seen everything, right? And, from dealing just with everyday issues to dealing with city inspectors, anything you can think of. There's a lot to a deal, right? There's a lot to doing this that most people don't understand. That it's not just that you got a couple dollars, you're gonna come in and you're gonna hit the ground running. So you have to have patience, and you have to be able to forgive and forget, right? That's definitely very important. Business is business. It's nothing personal, and that's one of the most important things. As long as you keep that mindset and just moving forward, then you'll never lose. But I do have a lot of gray hairs for a reason.
Me too. Well, it's so funny because I used to get so mad and so upset, and I wasted so much energy. And forgiveness, to me, that's why I study the Course in Miracles every day, to remind myself that I'm here to give one thing. It's forgiveness, right? That's what I'm truly giving. And I can't give forgiveness. I mean, future forgiving for future giving is forgiving, right? And I can't give that if I don't forgive myself. And, when I had so many insecurities, felt that I was inadequate, everything became an attack or a judgment on me at 3 in the morning, no matter what. It grew arms and legs. It was like lighter fluid on a fire. Were you always in the peaceful mindset when you were young, or did that transpire through harder lessons to learn, I'm just wasting time and energy, creating resistance, voids, and shortages for myself?
Over time, when I was younger, I was more excited, right? Trying to get things done, quickly, right? Because when you're younger, you think, life is forever, right? And we're going to be here forever. And, you don't think about time. You don't think about anything. So at that point, I wanted everything fast. And now I know, slow and steady. slow and steady, and then we're gonna get there. Because if you don't think that way, then it's not gonna work. Your foundation will crumble.
Last thing real quick, you wrote this book, Flipping Keys, came out in March. You give seminars. A lot of your life is to help inspire other people, to elevate other people, to elevate yourself. And we both have gone through that transformation of not only forgiving, but giving and inspiring other people to live their best lives, to reach their potential, to have the patience and persistence. In other words, you've gone from a celebrity real estate investor to what I love is you're a celebrant. You have written books and seminars to celebrate other people, to elevate other people, to elevate yourself. How strong is that message to you to be a celebrant now instead of a celebrity?
Yeah. The most important thing, I think, right, when you have success, you need, like, being successful, okay, you made it, right? It's great. But actually helping other people to be successful, I think that's one of the greatest gifts that you could give, right? So, like, a friend of mine, he tells me that like, I'm one of God's anointed ones, right? I'm not very religious, but he is. And he tells me that I'm anointed and that I need to use my gifts to help other people and show them the way. So that's the whole reason behind the seminars, right? I want people to learn how to be successful in real estate. I think if you do it right, is one of the easiest ways and more fulfilling ways to live a great life and not have to work too hard and generate income, right? Compared to every other business that you could do. Once you have a system in place, real estate is like clockwork. And that's what I'm sharing with other people. Like, you don't have to have thousands of properties like me or like the next guy, but if you have a couple properties, you could have some financial freedom.
Yeah, and you have that being worth over 65 million. But what I love about you compared to me when I was your age is you're going to keep that money and allow it to sustainably grow instead of losing it all when I got over 100 million. I can't wait. Next time we talk, I'm sure you'll be doubling what you have and how many properties you own with that consistent, persistent pursuit, that behavior that is guaranteed to have success, having that mindset, the heart set, and the open hands to other people to help them. Cesar, you're doing such an amazing job. Everyone, go out, buy the book, Flipping Keys, join the seminars. It's the best way to get rich in America, to build and empower wealth through real estate. I'm a lawyer. Let me just tell you this. All the laws since we began this land have been to protect the landowner. So be a landowner, understand how it works, understand the math, understand and be kind, and you will end up just like Cesar himself, CesarPena.com, at flipping_NJ. Anywhere else people should reach her? Anything else I missed?
You pretty much got everything.
Awesome, man. Well, I look forward to doing more with you.
No,
Thank you so much for helping so many people, man. You are truly an inspiration and an educator and a motivator on top of it. So thank you. I look forward to our next interview.
Well, thank you, bro. Thanks for having me.
Take care, man. Have a great day. Keep making money, helping people, and having fun.
Thank you.
All right. He's the man, CesarPena.com. He is an example and icon of making money, helping people, and having fun. What amazing guests we had today. If you are not on this with Nicole, Vanessa, and Cesar, you're missing out. Go back and watch this again. There is fire here for all those people that have been listening in. If you want those daily practices from me, if you want my book, ebook, audiobook, or even have me sign a book, send it to you and ship it to you, David@dmeltzer.com. David@dmeltzer.com. I'll send you my exercises, guys, but most importantly, my book. All of them are free. David@dmeltzer.com. Join me. There's my text number, 949-298-2905. I'll take one quick question. Thank you so much, everyone. And then we will call it for the day. I'm 32 years old with a power washing company. Is this profitable? Look, you got to know your timing and risk tolerance. Before you can determine profit, you got to determine what your timing and risk tolerance is. If you do that, you will be able to determine if you are profitable at the time that you want to be profitable. So do the inventory. Everybody, if you want to know how to find that timing and risk tolerance, email me, David@dmeltzer.com. The number one problem people have in investing and in business is they haven't predetermined their timing and their risk tolerance before they get into and involved with the venture, to have it be aligned with, synergistic and supplementary to that plan, that timing plan and the risk plan that they have. Especially important, as you'll find out in Flipping Keys. In real estate, in sports agentry, in events, in hospitality. Know your timing and risk tolerance. Email me, david@dmeltzer.com. Ebook, audiobook, I'll sign a book, send it to you, and ship it to you. I'll pay for everything. Don't worry. david@dmeltzer.com. Remember, everyone, be kind to your future self and do good deeds. We'll see you tomorrow. It's Talk About Tuesdays. Thanks.